Listen, we in this moment we have 5, 6, 7 important injury, and I think all the clubs, when you have this amount of injury, we are all in the same page, in the same situation. We start the season very good for a long period, then with 5, 6, 7 injury, especially with the striker, both striker, deadline, window transfer, both injury. So we try to different solution. We tried last week with Pedro as a 9 during the week. It works well. Aston Villa away, I think it was good game for him. Tonight again, just matter to try to find different solution.
Can I ask you about Nkuku tonight? Because he got his goal. He needed that. He looks like he's a player that plays on confidence. He took his goal well. Was you happy with him?
I'm happy with him. I know that he can give more. We expect more from him. In the same time, we try to understand him in terms of he's not a 9. Many games he plays as a 9. He's not a winger. Tonight play as a winger. He's attacking midfielder. The problem is that sometimes to find balance, we already use Cole there. So we try to use him in different positions.
Yeah, because Pedro Neto's got more characteristics like Jackson. He can run in behind.
Exactly.
He's more physical. And Nkuku likes to come in. Yeah.
We use Christian Nkunku Brighton away, but it was every time to receive on the feet.
Yeah.
And we need more threat in behind.
Yeah.
So the reason why we start to use and think about Pedro was for that.
This moment you've had where the results haven't been going for you. You said you've been seeing performances but not results. How have you kept your team engaged and motivated to actually continue going to perform?
Yeah, Rio, in this month and a half has been when I push even more to continue to believe on that, because the process is there. Since we start, we have been almost all season top 4. We have been there. Now it's normal to go through some bad moment. It's how we react and how we continue to believe in what we are doing since day one. And to be honest, the players, this is the reason why I think the fans, especially the fans, they have to trust the players, because they are engaged, they are fantastic. Every day they are working hard. I'm the first one that if I see something that I don't like, I don't allow them to do it. So the players, they are doing well.
And so when you go through a period where you have injuries like you have done at the moment, it's a good opportunity for the young lads to come in. Tariq George obviously comes on and creates the goal. I thought he looked really sharp when he came on.
Yeah, probably too many young players at the end.
It's nice to see.
Yeah, absolutely. It's nice to see. It was also the game a little bit that we can give young players chance to get some minutes. But for sure, Chelsea Academy, better than me, always has been a good one. So we have already many players like, Levi that is there. And hopefully in the future we can have more.
Yeah, and the final goal here.
Yeah, with the Conference League coming up again now, do you expect to see him get even more opportunities as well, Tariq?
Yeah, especially because we have the Conference League, and then after 2 days we have Leicester here. And for us, the priority is to bring this club where this club has to be. That for us is Champions League.
And you are in the top 4 now, but just 4 points separating 4th and 10th place in the league. And so it's so tight, that race, isn't it? What do you think of your chances?
No, for me, until the end, it will be like this. Until the end, if we are able to win games, we're going to be there. If we lose game, we'll be up and down. It's how we manage that. And we need to be ready.
And just a quick word on Cole Palmer as well. Yeah. So many great things about his performance tonight. He had lots of opportunities. You were having a bit of an in-depth chat with him at the end of the game. Can you share any of that with us about what?
No, yeah, but it's quite easy. You have here all former players that they have been big players, and all of them, they went through some bad moment. It's normal. It's like a team. It's like a player. You cannot expect Cole Palmer every season or every game like last season or like the first part of the season. It's normal. It's something normal. He's human being. He's missing goal. He's missing some things. Now is how we react. So I was telling him that it's everything is normal. No, and he's happy. He's okay.
And Enzo, sometimes you find out about your players when they're not at their best.
Exactly.
And then they're not firing on all cylinders, isn't it? You find out character, how they are around the place.
Exactly. I said already, man. He has been like in his career, even if it's young, because he share moments, change room with top players, and he knows that any top players, they go for bad moment. It's how you react. Keep calm, keep working, keep laughing, be happy, enjoy the football. It's the only thing you have to do.
Enzo, thank you very much for coming out to join us. Appreciate it.
See you.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank
you don't want that one, though?
No, I
Okay.
ignore it.
No, you know what?
It's a load of rubbish anyway.
No, you know what? It's nice to hear him just coming out and talking with such clarity, and he's quite clear in his method. Yeah, and he's giving us what we want and answering the questions very open and confidently. And that's the one thing that strikes me about him. When I met him earlier in the season when they were doing really well, but here his demeanour hasn't changed, even though they have been struggling. And there's a confidence, there's underlying confidence in what he's giving to his team, and then what they're going to go and put out there in the long run.
Is that really good management, what he was saying about Cole Palmer at the end, the way he's just trying to encourage him in this spell? Because it feels like he's just so close to getting back to that level.
Absolutely, and exactly what you need. And you know what you find with managers like him who've been top players who know that, like, they come out, they don't talk in riddles. Like, they'll look at us and go, do you know that? When you've been a player and you've had to go, well, you just need your manager to say this. That's exactly what Cole Palmer needs at the moment. Cole Palmer could be, because he will be frustrated. He was good tonight, but he would have loved to have scored. But he knows there's a goal coming. There's a big goal coming that's going to light this season up for Chelsea, and he's still going to be the man. But ex-players know that, and that's the benefit you have from being an ex-player when you go into coaching and management. I think it's refreshing to hear him speak like that. I think he's been top drawer.
I thought some of his touches, Cole Palmer, tonight were majestic as usual, but I've got to be honest, he does need a goal. I think you can tell it's affecting him slightly. Consistently went in, he was trying that chance there. That's made for him.
That's him.
Yeah, he's just got that. I mean, I think he's a little bit frustrated. And he's probably allowing it to get to him a tiny bit. Listen, but he'll be back.
Which perhaps led to that chat from the manager at the end. A frustrating night for Cole Palmer, but
Enzo, well done. How satisfying was that all round tonight?
Very happy. We said already that from now on every game is important, and if we can get 3 points, is even more important.
What were you most impressed by tonight?
No, the performance. First of all, every game is complicated. It's a tricky game. Anything can happen. So you have to embrace that, deal with that in the right way. And I think since we start the game in the right way.
Particularly in a game like this where all the expectancy is on your team.
Exactly. These are probably the worst game because are the one that everyone take for granted and are the dangerous one.
And that third goal just before half-time seemed to settle everybody down.
Yeah, exactly. We need that. I think the performance was there. Even the last game against Aston Villa away, the performance was there. We have been unlucky there, but it's just a matter of to continue.
And was it important for you to share the goals around tonight?
Yeah, it's always good that they can score all of them, almost all of them.
And you talked about the over-reliance on Cole Palmer. You've scored 4 without him scoring. Well, I know he'll want to score, but actually that's a positive in a way.
Yeah, but we said since we started that we cannot rely on Cole for every game, He has to continue to work, continue to be happy, continue to laugh in the way he is. We are completely happy with him. And it's normal to go through a moment where you struggle to score, but doesn't matter. Just continue, and he's going to score many goals.
Yeah, not a bad way to celebrate your birthday, is it? Getting a Premier League goal to your name. And what was, in the end, a routine win, Owen?
Yeah, to be fair, I really like Colwell. I think he's a super player, super talented, can play left back, can play centre back. The problem is they probably need another one alongside him. I know they've got Fofana, who's had his injury issues. Disasi was there. He's obviously gone on loan to Aston Villa, but I think they need to find a partner for Colwell because he's what they need. But in terms of the goalkeeper and his partner next to him, they need something a bit stronger.
But from what we saw from Chelsea tonight, was that the perfect response for Maresca after 3 straight defeats?
Yeah, I mean, let's face it, if they would have lost this game tonight, it would have been an absolute disaster. Everyone would have been screaming for his head. So it was it's still against the Premier League side, in inverted commas. I mean, they were really struggling, aren't they, Southampton? So if you wasn't to take 3 points off them tonight, I think the pressure would have really ramped up into that next game, which is Leicester, which you expect them to beat again. But look, it's when you're a manager of Chelsea Football Club, there's a lot of expectancy. This club has won for a very long time. It's having a lull at the moment. Are they on their way back? Jury's still open for me. I'm not sure that they're answering enough questions. I think the consistency needs to be there. I think they need experience as well as youth. They haven't really got that blend. I think there's a lot of young kids running around there. You talked about Colwell. He needs an experienced man up alongside him, really. If they
like
can
Thiago
find
Silva.
that. Yeah, but what they obviously decided that wasn't the future. The manager's trying to make a point that we are going to youth, even from the academy, with the amount of subs he brought on tonight. It's not a brave decision, to, at 4-0 up, to bring on, 3 or 4 of your academy graduates. Hopefully they can get another opportunity. Perhaps you should play them against Leicester and see them from the start. That's when you're really having a look at these players, not for 10 minutes at the end of a game, but small steps, and that is obviously the way they're going to go.
Yeah.
Because it looks like they're not going to have the finances. It's very difficult to get rid of the players you already have, and he's got a huge amount of players in that squad. But it was an important result for him today. Just to win the game was important, and it was an emphatic win, wasn't it? I was never in doubt.
And it started with a goal from Christopher Nkunku.
Yeah, and to be fair, they need him. I think everybody's thought, is he a striker? He's not a striker. He can play wide, he can play as a 10, but they need his goals. Obviously, with Jackson out, I think Neto played through the middle as a false 9, but he can score goals, Christopher Nkunku. He just needs to stay fit and healthy and maybe find a role. I think obviously Cole Palmer being so influential in that 10 position probably took away from where he probably at his best. But outside of Cole Palmer, I'd say he's their most natural choice for goals if Nicholas Jackson is missing. And it was a good start for him.
Yeah. Out comes the balloon, which is his trademark celebration, because his little one is a big fan of balloons, and that's it, just to make him happy. And then we saw Pedro Neto on the score sheet.
Yeah, he's very direct. I think he's had a decent season, I really do. And recently he's been stepping up. I think he's a real threat. I think he could play in most teams. I really think he's a talent. When he was going through here, he changes his position, makes the run on the outside. He's going to put his foot through that powerful shot past Ramsdale. 2-0. From there on in, the game was finished, in my opinion. They was always just going to go ahead and score more and more. But I like Neto. I don't know what the celebration's all about.
No.
The few of the Chelsea players did that tonight. A bit of that, they're listening to the noise. They just got to blank out the noise and win. People are obviously you're playing for Chelsea Football Club. It's a team what normally wins, and you've spent a few £1 billion. So people expect you to be at the top. Just get on with it.
Well, come on, let's find out from one Chelsea player what that celebration was all about, because we heard from him briefly already. Levi Colwill joins us live pitch side from Stamford Bridge. Hey, Levi, always good to see you. Well done today on a much-needed big win. So, just give us a little insight. What was that celebration about from Pedro Neto? Do you know?
I didn't see it, to be honest. I think I was celebrating with a few of the players at the back. It meant a lot to us, but I don't know what he done.
Oh, no. It was kind of like... I can't do it.
Too much talking.
Too much talking with the hands, that kind of thing. But look, talk to us about your goal. We've already just heard it's your birthday coming up, and this was a nice way to celebrate.
Yeah, definitely. I've missed a lot of big chances this season, and it felt really good to get a goal, against my team that I played for when I was very young, and also the city I live in. I've got a few friends that are Southampton fans, so it meant a lot to me.
So this fixture does add that more significance for you then?
Yeah, definitely. I grew up in St Mary's. That's where I learned all my traits. So it meant a lot for me, definitely.
So how much needed was that win this evening?
Yeah, definitely. The last few games have been tough, and we needed to bounce back and to get them goals and to keep a clean sheet, boost all our confidence, and hopefully we can take it on to next game.
Yeah, just tell us about that run. I mean, look, 2 wins in 10 before today in the Premier League. Do you think confidence had been taking a hit in the dressing room?
Yeah, maybe. I think it's natural. We're all amazing players, and we go out every game looking to win. So when we don't, it's natural. But like I said, we're amazing players, and we all trust each other, and we knew it was coming. I mean, every team goes through bad times and tough patches. You just got to get out of them, and obviously that's what we've done today.
Levi, you're very versatile in your play. Are you happier in the centre-back position on the left-hand side rather than the left-back?
Yeah, of course. The gaffer's played me centre-half this season, and I feel like I can play my best football there. But if I have to play anywhere to help the team, I'm more than capable, more than happy to.
No, do you think, obviously, with maybe that little dip, maybe that has to do with maybe the fact it's quite a young squad? There are quite a lot of young players, and I think when you have younger players, there is that little, inexperience that can happen, because it feels like a lot of the players are of a similar age. A lot of those, older players are gone that kind of help out when you get in those little difficult moments.
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, we've got young players, and we're all building experience together. So we still have a few players that do have experience, and they got to help us get through these times, and that's what they've done. But we're building together and we're very excited about the future, definitely. And, you know, hopefully, like I said, we start winning games.
Sorry, just talking of the future, I mean, we saw a few academy players blooded towards the end of the game. I mean, I can see you smiling already. That must be great, not just for the seniors, but for the Chelsea fans to see tonight.
Yeah, it's amazing for the boys to come on. You know, as academy boy myself, I know how much it means to them. They were amazing when they came on. Obviously, Ty got the assist. Shin was amazing. Josh came on and solid. And, you know, I'm just so happy for the boys, and hopefully it continues and they keep progressing in the right way.
And finally, into the top 4 once again. I mean, it's been a little while. How much of a psychological boost is that?
Yeah, definitely. It pushes all our confidence. You know, we've been in a bad run of forms, like you guys said, and we're still in around the top 4, and we're top 4 now. And I don't think we're too far off third. So it's not a bad position to be, you know. Lost a few games, but we're still here. So hopefully now we can pick up points and really drive the team.
Brilliant stuff. Thanks for joining us. Happy birthday for tomorrow.
Thank you very much, guys. Thank you.
Brilliant. Well Chelsea defender Levi Colwill, who speaks well, as you said a little earlier.
Yeah, to be fair, I mean, I think he plays a lot older than he is, and I think he talks a lot older than he is as well. It's remarkable, really, him talking about the youngsters coming through. He's still young, you know, really young, but can see a good lad like him. They look out for the young ones when they come through, because you remember their first game, how nervous you were, how much it meant to you. So helping those youngsters as they come on today is a huge thing, and says a lot about him.
There was another defender on the score sheet for Chelsea to wrap things up with goal number 4, and that came from Mark Cucurella, Tim.
He's got 4 goals this year. It's incredible, you know, for someone who's a real defender, and I really like him. You know what I like about him is because he just hate to have him against you. You know, when I bet opposition fans and just rubs them up the wrong way, you know, and that's the biggest compliment I can give him. Takes that very well. He's got good technique. He's obviously a winner.
But if you want to see a goal, why Southampton's going to get relegated, that your own corner, the shot when you should never shoot, just go back out wide, get a cross in. You don't track back. You know, they've just conceded so soft, but I love that from George. Good little shift there. But to be fair, end of the game, everybody's gambling, getting in the box. And he scores goals, Cucurella. I mean, the thing is as well, they need somebody to step up with the goals. And Coles, maybe they've dried up a little bit, but he can chip in. You know, we've seen in Cuckoo, we've seen Neto. You know, they've got a lot of players, but they guarantee goals.
Yeah. I mean, talking of Cole Palmer, that's now 7 games in all competitions, no goal or assist. What did you make of his overall performance? It felt like he was trying everything he could to try and end that run. But what about his body language on the whole?
Well, he didn't look happy. And I think he's right, because he wants the numbers, he wants the assists, he wants the goals, and I think it means a lot to him. You can see how he works hard for the team. You see the run there, he takes the defender away for Cucurella to score. I mean, he was probably hoping that would work in the opposite way, but he tried everything he possibly could. In the first half, he had a lot of good chances, and he's, you know, he snatched them a little bit, whereas early on in the season he was rolling them into the corner. He's still young, he's still developing as well. I think he's a superstar, I really do. I think for him to carry that team with the expectation on his shoulders for large periods of the season already, I think he will come back strong again, but his body language didn't look great. I think Maresca's saying to him, I left you on the pitch, I tried everything I possibly could for you to get... I think Cole is a confident boy anyway. I don't think he needs much flannel from his manager. You know, I think he's pretty assured of his abilities, and he knows that he's standing in this side. He knows it's a very important standing in the side. For me, he's the best player they have at Chelsea Football Club, but he wants to play in Champions League football. If they don't finish in the Champions League spot next season, he's struggled to keep hold of Cole Palmer.
Questions might be asked over maybe manager or players, right?
Well, for Cole Palmer, he want to play in the Champions League. Like I say, the boy's a superstar.
OK, let's have a look at Chelsea's fixtures now that they're in the top 4. This is their next 6 in all competitions. We've got the UEFA Conference League, of course, to contend with as well, a doubleheader with Copenhagen. But Leicester next, Enzo Maresca up against his former side. Arsenal, Spurs, Brentford. I mean, those are 3 big London clashes, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, obviously quite tough, the London ones. And then I think they've got a few easier ones. And then they finish the season, the last 4 or 5 are really, really tough. Almost all top 4 teams, you know, Liverpool, Newcastle,
Man U,
United,
Forest.
in Forest. So Look, if they're going to get into the top 4, well, we said not top 4, top 5. It will be top 5. It's like I think 99% chance it's going to be the 5 teams. So it's doable. But the problem is Newcastle, are incredible form. Bournemouth are flying. Brighton are in good form. Obviously Villa. You wouldn't underestimate them with the squad they have in City. If City get everybody firing, so it's going to be a shootout for,
and there'll be no rotation now, Owen, in the Conference League, in the Europa Conference. Now it's about the competition's just stepped up a little bit. Or it's Copenhagen, you would expect them to beat them, but there's no rotations now. If they do not win the Europa Conference League, it's an absolute disaster. But Chelsea Football Club cannot lose the Europa Conference League, and I think they should go for it. Of course they should. It's a European trophy, but the priority has to be in the Champions League. Yeah, priority has. Yeah. With them games sandwiched in, you saw all the kids playing in the early rounds. None of that no more. They're all back in now. All the first team players will play.
At the other end of the table, Southampton with 22 league defeats to their name now, with 11 to play. They've got 9 points to their name. The lowest ever points total in the Premier League is 11. I mean, that's another blank. And people, I suppose that talk will continue the longer this kind of goal drought goes on, right? Look,
this is 2 teams, 2 seasons in a row that come up and try to out-football everybody without the players or the resources to do that. This should be a lesson to everybody that comes up. Stop trying to play like Man City. Burnley did it, got relegated. Southampton, 9 points, they're going to get relegated. Just try and come up and compete. Be hard to beat, keep clean sheets, defend really well, and then hit teams on the break. You don't have to come up and play like Barcelona. This myth that these young managers have to think, we got to out-football everybody because we're in the Premier League. It doesn't work. We've seen the evidence of it. And I feel sorry for the Southampton players and the fans because there was a stat there in the game. How many mistakes had they made from individuals? 19.
That led to goals.
Because you're trying to play against players and teams that are better than you. You should actually do the opposite. You should defend well and then hit teams on the counter. So I just think this body of work from Burnley and Southampton should show teams next year, come up, be hard to beat, rather than trying to out-football everybody.
Tim, as a manager, at what point do the clubs start preparing for life in the second tier?
Well, they should have a look at it. You would have thought Southampton would have done with their appointment, getting rid of Russell Martin. Being Sergeant, you would have thought that they would have brought someone in who knew the Championship because it looked very difficult for them to stay up. Sometimes it's not about the manager who's in charge, it's about the group of players what start the season. And we've seen that Leicester have changed their manager, Southampton have changed their manager, only Ipswich have kept hold of their manager, seemed to be a little bit more competitive because he's brought the players in, he knows them better than anyone. Sometimes you keep changing your manager and the results don't change. So sometimes it's about the recruitment of players. It's very difficult, we know it is, a step up from the Championship. But it can be done. We talked to the likes of Bournemouth do it, Brighton do it, Brentford do it. There is a way, but you have to just survive in that first year. It's really important. And you get the funds again to spend, but you have to spend them wisely.